Now, I want to tell you about Bill Sardi. He writes for LouRockwell.com and a lot of other big publications. He's a medical researcher, author in the areas of health and nutrition. He's authored numerous books, including The New Truth About Vitamins and Minerals, The Red Wine Pill, Vitamin C Report, and more. He is a journalist of medical subjects. He is a medical journalist, and we're honored to have him with us. And throughout this hour, we're going to be taking your phone calls only on flu whistleblowers, people who've been forced to take it, people whose children were forced to take it, people who have neighbors' children who were forced to take it. What freaks me out is everything we hear here months before then becomes mainstream news later. And what does it say about the lawlessness of government and the whole medical tyranny and the federalized health departments that they're forcibly injecting people all over the country? Bill, I want to ask you about that first and get into all these detailed articles you've been writing about this entire behemoth fraud and hoax that's made, in the last 2 weeks, the vaccine makers an additional $7 billion. Good to have you here with us.
Thank you, Alex. Have you had your flu shot yet, Alex?
No, I haven't, Bill.
If you haven't, you can join most of the members of Congress, some pediatricians in South Florida who say it's unsafe, some Colorado hospitals who say, back away, don't send that flu mist thing here, the nasally instilled vaccine, you'll start a pandemic right here in our own hospitals. These are admissions from healthcare workers themselves. You can see the pushback, nurses and doctors just pushing this away. So if this is still on your mind, University of Purdue researchers saying over the weekend it's worthless to vaccinate now, your children especially, of no benefit because it takes 3 to 4 weeks to develop enough antibodies for proper immunity. By then, the flu season is over. This thing is peaking early, and you will get no benefit if everybody mass vaccinates right now with the available doses they claim. That's the 22.4 million. Everybody today, you'll only reduce the infections by 6%, meaningless reduction in mortality and so on. So just so you know, they know how to plot these and predict, and they know what's going on. It's useless, and the news media is, by the way, ignoring that study showing too late now. You're just too late to make any benefit. And by the way, the CDC is still recommending everybody get a seasonal flu shot when there's no seasonal flu in circulation. All we have is the pandemic H1N1. You can go to the CDC website and see it yourself. 99% in circulation is the flu, the pandemic strain. It's useless to get the seasonal flu shot, so all you get is a little bit of the disease itself. And did I say that? Yes, I did. The flu shot is a little bit of the disease. What do you think they're giving you? How do you provoke antibodies? Now, especially the flu mist, that's the nasally instilled liquid one, so the kids avoid the needles. But you notice that one became available first. You want to start a pandemic, give that one first, because about 2% of the people you come in contact with, if you had that nasally instilled one, you're going to give it to those people. Now, you know, they're doing this at schools because, well, wait a minute, the teachers are going to get it, and then the pregnant teachers are going to get it, and then the babies are going to get it. And you don't see hospitals saying, if you have gotten the flu mist in the last few days, do not enter here. You don't see that. So, you know, this is the kind of danger. This is how to start. The flu mist is the live virus itself. So just so you understand, yes, you may not like needles, but that's what it is, and that's how they started. I even wonder if this delay is to try to get the pandemic going, because it's fizzling out, and they really need this thing to get going, and they need more deaths. As you know, they claim 36,000 deaths a year, and everybody can see it now. What does it say there? 1,000 deaths in 8 months. That's way under 36,000 in a year. So everybody take a look at their own figures. We have a very mild flu epidemic on our hand. That doesn't mean that people don't get pretty sick. They can, but I can tell you.
I want to go over with you all the different facets in the research and everything you're saying. You have links to the CDC in your articles. This is all admitted fact. But I want to pull back first and look at the big picture here. Do you agree with me that this is nothing but a federalization of local police and local medical facilities, and the federal government itself taking orders from the United Nations, the UN bragging, this is great for global governance. We declared the level 6 global pandemic on a regional basis, not off of actual illnesses or deaths. And what do you think the bigger picture here is now with schools all over the country forcibly injecting children, even against parents' wishes, and then spinning it with the same talking point that it was just a mistake? This is the perfect martial law cover. Not this year, but in the... You're
going to get hospital administrators and others call up and say, well, you know, we don't do any of that. Well, you know, who's accepting the $9 billion here? I mean, they've got payoffs to all of these places if they will push the flu shots, and they're going to miss out on the money. Now, you know, everybody's hurting for money, including hospitals and clinics, and so this is the story. They aren't distributing this year this flu shot in pharmacies and places like that. They're going right to the schools. They're going right to the workplace where they can coerce you as a healthcare worker, as somebody who works in a grocery store or wherever, to get that flu shot, and there are economic incentives to do this. So where someone might say this is not you know, federally controlled, well, try again. It's all funded by the federal government. They're giving it away, and people are still rejecting it. In past years, consumers had to pay. Now they're saying you get the flu shot for free. Now,
well, Bill,
you know,
Bill, that's my question to you. Analyzing this, I want your perspective. Is this just not the perfect federalization vehicle? Is this not just a beta test for the future, a way to clamp down on society during a financial meltdown or for other reasons? Even better than terrorism, a biological pathogen is the perfect way to be able to fully federalize things and take total control over society. And all the evidence that I'm seeing shows that this is a beta test for total federalization
of the world, because we see it now on a world scale with this flu. And of course, the flu, because it mutates, because it's seasonal, and so on, now we have perpetual treatment to handle a perpetual flu pandemic. They invent this thing late in the season. By the way, if all of you bought into the idea this thing came from a pig, you can see the graphics provided by the Center for Disease Control showing it came from swine. They could not find any swine herds with this version of the flu until recently. What does that tell you? We gave it to the pigs. Come on, wake up. It's an engineered virus. We can't find any other origin of this. Now, they claim patient number 1 was a little boy in a village in Mexico, but a lot of people got sick, but he was the only boy with that particular strain. That's what they claim. The kids getting sick from other things in that village. Then they claim there were 2 children here in Los Angeles that had it first, but again, we can't track this down as to how it reassorted. You'd have to send this pig back and forth on an airplane to Asia, so it wouldn't make any sense. Well, they said, therefore, because it takes a lot of mutations, a lot of time, it had to be circulating in the population, and we just missed it. All of those over 1,000 flu monitoring centers the World Health Organization has around the globe missed this thing. Come on, this isn't true.
And
this
Bill,
couldn't happen.
Expanding on that,
is engineered, from what I can see. Till we rule that out, that's what it is.
Well, Bill, you're not the only one saying this. I've seen BBC headlines that top scientists say it was made in a lab.
Alex, you know and I know, we're just trying to educate the public. When societies, when politicians get in trouble with an economy, they develop distractions. Usually it's a war. In this case, it's a war on the flu. And because of that, they can gain control of the economy. What is the first thing you would do and your family would do if they heard quarantine was coming? You'd run to the store for the food, the water, and the bank to get some money. Now they know that, and they've closed down the banks. And
Stay there.